Hey everybody. I was on Podcast Editors Mastermind yesterday. We got to talking about the importance of knowing the gear that we use in content creation. And when I say content creation, I'm talking about podcasters too, since they are content creators. It's easy enough for anyone to go to the Google machine and ask, what do I need to record a podcast? And they'll get a list of the same old equipment that we see everybody recommend. The Yeti, the ATR 2100X, the Q2U, the Electro Voice RE20, the Shure SM7B, Focusrite 2i2, Zoom P4, Rodecaster Pro, DBX 286, Rode PSA1. That's pretty much a common list. The thing is that Rode disrupted the industry when they started building equipment for content creators. It was an area that had been ignored by pro audio companies because it was just too niche for them. More companies are jumping into this space now. Shure jumped in with the MV7, which in my opinion, it's an all-around better mic than the previous standards that are USB XLR. Earthworks dropped the price of their Ethos mic, which I'm using here, to $399, which makes it worth considering for anybody looking in the $400 price range. The Rodecaster Pro is no longer the only mixer built for content creators. Zoom, Tascam, and recently Mackie all have mixers built for these purposes. Talking about other equipment, let's talk about the 286. There really is nothing special about it. I don't recommend this to clients because there's too much potential for them to ruin their recordings, and software can do a better job with compression, EQ, and gating. I'd rather see the client use a podcast mixer than one of these. And what about audio interfaces? The 2i2 is still a great recommendation, isn't it? It's a good one, especially with the new Rev 4, but it's not one of my first choices for podcasters. It's not even my first Focusrite choice. I'd look at something like the Vocaster before the 2i2 simply because it's designed for podcasters. It has the extra headphone outputs. It doesn't need a splitter. And to me, these little things matter in my book. I look for devices that are going to be easy for non-techies to set up and use. And outside of pro audio, there are companies like Elgato whose target audience are content creators. To me, two of their most impressive products are the most boring to talk about. The first is their mic arm. It's built like a tank and infinitely more adjustable than any other boom arm I've used. They also have a low-profile version available. And the reason for the flexibility is it can be modified using their other boring product, which is essentially various sized sticks. I have a deep desk, which has always posed a problem when it comes to mic positioning. With the Elgato Wave mic arm and a couple of their flex arms, I'm able to get the mic right where I want it. Their mounting arms are also great for positioning camera gear and anything else you might want to attach to your desk or to a mount. Elgato is solving the problems content creators have had, and they are doing it better than anyone else out there. I strongly feel that as podcast editors, we can differentiate ourselves as experts when we can become problem solvers for our clients. Anyone can turn to Google to find the standard answers. I want to be able to offer customized answers based on their specific needs and budget, and being able to help guide them if they were looking to move in a different direction. I recently had a consulting session with a podcaster who had been told he needed to change his mic because he was using a Yeti. It turns out his mic was fine. He was using it in his walk-in closet, which sounded fine. The acoustics were good. But the biggest issue was needing to get a better mic arm in order to improve the mic's position. He did that and was instantly happier with his sound. So what do you think? Is it important to understand the equipment and engineering side of things, especially as AI starts to lower the bar for entry into podcast editing? Let me know in the comments below. As I was editing this video, I had a conversation with an editor who told me equipment isn't something they are interested in. They just want to focus on the work. And this is fine. No one can be or should try to be an expert in everything. If equipment isn't one of your strengths, get to know people you can consult with to help when a client needs guidance on equipment. This is something I've done for members in Tansy Aster Academy, along with other editors. We had one Academy member who had a client that wanted to improve her audio quality, but this Academy member didn't know how to help. She posted for advice, and I ended up joining her and the client for a call to walk through setting up the new mic, setting the gain levels right, and whether there was still a need to keep setting up the blanket fort she had been using. I know I've touched on this before, but a lot of us editors feel like we need to take everything on ourselves, even if it means we are doing something outside of our area of expertise. You don't want me doing your show notes. You just don't. A trained monkey could deliver better results, so I don't offer them. I'll outsource that to Tara or a freelance show notes writer. Social media management is another one of those services we don't offer, but if a client needed it, we would reach out to our network to find a social media manager to handle those duties. The key to offering more services to clients isn't to learn new skills. How long will it take to learn to do something at a professional level? The key is to expand your network. Find people who specialize in areas you don't. You send business their way, they send business your way, everybody wins. I just wanted to add this into the video since I was editing it and it was a viewpoint I hadn't really thought of when writing the episode. We recently hit 100 subscribers on this channel, so thank you for all of the support. Please spread the word if you know someone who might be interested in this channel, or share the video if it could be helpful for someone. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you next time.